Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a completed flip through of my childhood documented album. So if you haven't watched the process videos, I do have a process video for all of the pages inside this album, and I will link the playlist below. And if you haven't been following along, I created a prompt list of 20 prompts that I shared on Instagram of different things to just kind of get your memories flowing, to document about your childhood. And mine is 90s themed, but as I've said many times, you can of course change that if you want to go along with something that will fit your life. So the cover, this is, well, first of all, this album is a Heidi Swapp Storyline Chapters mini album. So it's roughly like a 5x7. I mean, it might be a little bigger, but just to give you an idea. I used all paper from the Vicki Boutin Color Study collection. I love this collection, and this is my favorite paper from the entire thing, so I love it. And I used my label maker on the front and some different little stickers. I wanted this to look like something I would have kind of kept up with as a kid. So as you saw inside, I printed off my prompt list, and I just used one of those Simple Stories flip pockets so that I can have all of the prompts inside. I wanted to keep my prompts, plus I made it on Procreate, and I thought it would be cute to kind of keep track of it in here. So kind of for my title page, I did like this book is property of Leilani, did one picture of me whenever I was a kid and just decorated it with stickers, and then we'll move on to all of the prompts. So the first prompt was Y2K computer games, and I am going to read my journaling to you just in case you can't read it. So hopefully you'll be into it, but they're all really short. So I'll just kind of quickly read to you my journaling. So for this one, I included my first computer, just a picture I found online, and I loved these computer games, so I included them as well. So I wrote, I got my first computer in 99/2000. It was a gateway that my sweet grandma and bub bought for me. It was so awesome and just mine. I can't remember my parents getting on it even once. My late middle school days were filled with dial-up, AOL, fun screen names, and tons of computer games. So I loved these Rocket computer games, and I just really like how this page turned out. I love, I printed these pictures off. I think they're about a 2x2, and this just takes me back, so I love it. My next prompt was Pop Princess. So I did the Spice Girls. So my journaling says, spice up your life. Wow, the Spice Girls were such a huge part of my childhood. I love sporty. I was the opposite of a sporty person, so why, I'll never know. And of course, baby. I remember so many times pretending to be one of these ladies with Amanda, performing for anyone who would listen to us and watch our super cool moves. So Amanda is a childhood and a still friend that I still have, but we've known each other since we were 6 months old. So a lot of my kind of early middle school childhoody type memories definitely involve Amanda. But I love doing this full page picture. So once again, this is probably slightly over 5x7, maybe 5.2x7. And I just found all these images online. I used the app Photo Room to take the background out if it had a background. I don't think this one did. And all of my stamps are from Heidi Swapp. I used 3 different stamp sets. So just let me know if you need any more information about that. Now, in this album, just to fit all 20 prompts, I had to do 2 different prompts or 4 prompts total throughout the book in as just one pages so that I could fit everything. So this one was boy band. So of course boy bands were huge whenever I was a kid, and I loved Backstreet Boys. So I said, okay, I love the Backstreet Boys on another level. If I had to pick one band to sum up my entire childhood, it would be them. I was in love with AJ, but overall just obsessed. I had a huge Winnie the Pooh zip-up Trapper Keeper that I filled to the brim with BSB memorabilia. I was a memory keeper even back then. So I really like that one. And then I did TGIF. So once again, you know, this is really just my must-see TV. It didn't have to actually be on TGIF, but I just kind of used that as a rough, just like title, you know. So it says, just thinking about TGIF now warms my heart. Those shows were a huge part of my weeks and something that brought me a lot of comfort. I added shows here that weren't on the lineup, but all of these were my must-watch TV every week for sure. So I just kind of included, I didn't include anything from like Nickelodeon or anything like that, but just like different shows that I love to watch either before school, after school, on the weekends, whatever. All right. Next prompt was favorite toys. I loved getting this one together. So you'll see a lot of iconic toys here from the 90s. So I said 90s toys were just on another level. I was so into troll dolls, Beanie Babies, Tamagotchis, and Polly Pockets. But the one thing that I loved then and now was stationery and stickers. I was a huge Sanrio and Lisa Frank fan and always had to have the latest cute folders and pencils. Playing school was on top of the list for the most fun thing ever, so these supplies really came in handy. And then, of course, I just have little pictures of some things that I remember playing with, the Doodle Bear, the password journal, all that kind of stuff. And once again, I'm using a formula to create this album. So I am doing, like, I'm kind of batching everything. So I'll print off all my pictures, edit them, make sure they're all good, print them off whatever size I want, pick out my paper and go ahead and cut that to size and everything, do all of my stamping and cut it out, do all of my journaling and cut it out, and then I would do my process videos and just assemble everything and kind of add stickers and whatnot. So that really worked for me to get these like really busted out as quick as I could. So then my next 5 prompts, the first one was fashion icon. So I had to do Clarissa. I just loved Clarissa as a child. So I said, if I had to pick one fashion icon to sum up the 90s for me, it would be Clarissa Darling. I was so obsessed with all of her colorful and fun outfits when I was younger, and I think that stayed with me and helped shape my fashion sense even to today. Who doesn't want to be so effortlessly cool and confident in everything they wear? Not to mention having hands down the best bedroom ever decorated and a pet alligator named Elvis. Clarissa will always be the OG trendsetter. So I loved her, and I love having these full page pictures. I just think that they are so fun. That's one of my favorite pages. I love this paper as well, and it just reminds me of like some sort of pattern dress she would wear or something. Then, of course, Nickelodeon shows. So this is very near and dear to my heart. I love Nickelodeon. So I have a lot of shows here that I just like had to watch as a kid. It says, Nickelodeon literally shaped my childhood. There will never be anything as amazing on TV as Nickelodeon in the 1990s. Every show was just special. I feel so lucky to have been the perfect age to witness and enjoy this time in pop culture. Snick was must-see TV on Saturday nights, and all that was definitely our SNL with all of our favorite skits and characters. I adored Clarissa and Salute Your Shorts and was always terrified of Are You Afraid of the Dark? It is still so iconic. So these had to have their own because like Nickelodeon, I mean, it's still around today, but in my opinion, it's just like not near the same. But back then it was just something truly special. And I love being able to document this. I had to use some orange paper, of course, for the big orange couch. And I also wanted to bring in some of the green and stuff to represent like slime. You know, Nickelodeon, there was always like sliming on different shows. So favorite books. So I decided to do another full-size picture, and I definitely wanted to do a book cover that had Claudia in it because she was my favorite. So this says, Fave Books BSC. The Babysitter's Club. Where do I even start? When I think of my childhood, these books are definitely one of the main things that come to mind. I adored reading this series and still feel a connection with it and the babysitters today. Claudia was always my number one. She had such an amazing style, loved junk food, and also hated to study. She had the coolest bedroom and was always so fun and artistic. This book series is timeless, and I still love it so much. So yes, I love the Babysitter's Club, as I'm sure most of you know. I talk about it like more than normal. I can't wait for the new season, which comes out right around my birthday in early October. So that will for sure be one of my like must-watch shows here soon. If you haven't watched the one on Netflix, it's amazing. You should watch it. Here I did Disney Channel original movies. I did add a few other little star clusters after my video. I just felt like it was a little naked. The pictures were pretty small. So yeah, I added a few more, but I really like kind of the simplicity of it. I did use I think some sort of distressed ink. So actually like the ink pad wasn't running out or anything. It just purposely looks kind of distressed like that. I forget what that ink is called, like a chalk ink or something. But, you know, it's fine for me. But, so I have different Disney Channel movies here. So I know this one may be like a more specific topic, but for me, this was such a big deal that like I had to include it. But I said, DComs. Disney Channel was always my jam when I was growing up, but Disney Channel original movies were on another level. I always think back to the days when Amanda would come over on a Friday, Saturday night, and we would plan our entire hangout around this new TV movie. I could never wait for the movie of the month. I have to say my all-time favorite is Johnny Tsunami, but Smart House, Xenon, and Halloween Town follow close behind the best. So there's some up close pictures. I printed these off, I think, at a 1.5 by 2, I think. So there you have it. And next, we have 90s bestie, Lisa Turtle. Choosing a 90s BFF was so hard, but one beauty rose above the others, and that gossip-loving, stylish lady is the one-of-a-kind Lisa Turtle. Saved by the Bell was a show that I loved in my younger days. I always watched it before school, in the mornings, and also many times after school when I got home. I adored all of the characters, despite their many flaws, but Lisa was always my favorite. She is fun, talkative, loves her friends, and definitely knows how to have a good time. And it's true. I would have to say one of my like most favorite shows, like if I was like truly picking like just maybe like three shows from my childhood, Saved by the Bell is like huge for me. So, and I loved Lisa growing up. I mean, I love Kelly, you know, but Lisa was always like who I would pick, you know. Then my next ones, this is another one where I just did the one page layout each. So I did cartoons and snack time. Now, if I had to do this again, I would maybe do it more like this one where I had like one picture with the group of pictures. I almost think these two groups are a little much, but you know, everything was adhered down and I was just rolling with it at that point. But I may have changed that if I could have, because there's just a lot going on, but I still think it's fine. But so I did cartoons also as a separate thing. So none of the shows I had mentioned so far were cartoons. So I said, I was always more of a live action girl, but of course I had my favorite cartoons that I could binge all day. I love Doug, still do to this day, and Rugrats. Nicktoons were always some of the best, and I watched them like crazy. I also loved One Saturday Morning on ABC. Pepper Ann was always so fun, and I loved to see what she found under her desk at the beginning of every episode. Ah, memories. And then snack time. Just looking at these pictures of snacks from the 90s makes my mouth water. Nothing will ever taste better than an ice-cold orange Flintstones push pop after playing outside on a hot day in the sprinkler, or a fresh bagel bites out of the oven on a Saturday night just in time for Snick. So I really loved picking out all of these foods. So we have like string thing, bagel bites, toaster strudels, Wonder Balls, push-ups, Dunkaroos, Gushers, of course, Squeeze-Its, and Kid Cuisine. So some of those they still make now, but some were like definitely of the time, but those were some of my favorite like junk foods that I loved. Then we have collections. So once again, I kind of struggled with this one with fitting the stickers and stuff. And also, if I could change this one, I would have made the groupings of like these journaling strips like shorter and to go down further, but you know, once that's adhered down, it's really hard to change it. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm happy with it. I'm just saying a few things that, you know, I've noticed in hindsight that I would perhaps change. So this says collections. I've always been a collector my entire life, and when I was a child, it was no different. I love collecting lots of fun little things such as Polly Pockets, Polly Pockets, Pez dispensers, troll dolls, and of course My Little Ponies. I adored these fancy sparkly horses with their beautiful rainbow hair and big eyes. It was always so fun to add a new pony to my ever-growing collection, and I did love My Little Ponies. I like that they have these kind of like old school ones back again. You know, the newer ones were so cute with like the big kawaii eyes, but like this just brings me back. I love these. 90s crush, JTT. We all had our 90s crushes. Mine was, hands down, JTT. The plaid, the bowl haircut, and the middle part, the backwards hat. He was just such a heartthrob. I always remember looking forward to TGIF on Fridays to catch up with the new episodes of Home Improvement. Plus, who couldn't fall in love with the adorable voice of Simba? So once again, I did a full page picture and just kind of added a lot of stickers. I loved these that were like the little candy hearts. So I thought that those were cute to add on this page. Like it says, call me, #love, and only you. Mixtape. This was a fun one. So I just love the way this looks. I love this paper. It kind of has a 70s vibe, actually. It's kind of wavy and stuff, even though you can't super see that. But I loved the way this looked. I loved this like half paper with the yellow and the white and everything. And I finally remembered to use my circle again. So I really loved it. So I said, I hold the music from my childhood so close to my heart. From my first CD, TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool, to my first concert, Alanis Morissette at the Pyramid when I was 9, my ultimate 90s mixtape would have to include both of the above, plus a little Hanson, BSB, and Britney. I would probably throw in Barbie Girl and the Macarena for good measure. Dance Party, anyone? So As I'm sure you can guess, for the majority of this, I am like doing kind of early 90s. So I was born in 1986. So by the time, I didn't really experience much of the 80s. I was only 4. So by the time like the 90s started, that was really kind of like my childhood from the time I was, 4 to 14. So I'm including kind of like really early on. I'm probably like 12 and stuff, like listening to Backstreet Boys. Of course, I got into other stuff as I started like my freshman year in high school, but I'm kind of like sticking with kind of kid the kid vibe of where I was, as like a tween type deal, just so you kind of have a picture. The next one was Blockbuster Night. So I loved this one. And once I started to think of movies, I like could not stop. So I said, movie nights are the best. But there was really something special about Blockbuster movie nights. I loved going to our local Blockbuster on a Friday afternoon to check out all of the fun new releases and browse through all of the aisles of old classics too. These were some of my favorite movies as a kid. I want to rewatch them now. So I loved doing this. I talked about a few of them in the process video, but all of these are special to me. So tell me if you enjoyed any of these as a kid as well. I would love to know. Then I have the 90s Sidekick, which I picked out Salem from Sabrina. So there's some of the funny little things that he said. He's just a riot. So here I said, it was pretty hard to pick my favorite 90s sidekick. There are so many good ones, especially in Disney movies. After a lot of consideration, though, a clear winner for me would be Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He never fails to make me laugh, and his one-liners are the best. And I really like the way this one turned out as well. I kind of used one piece of paper throughout and added a lot of sprinkles on the side, and I really like it. We're nearing the end, guys. The next one's Pogs. So I found a picture online and printed it off as the full-size picture, which I really liked. And this star paper is one of my other favorites from the collection, so I was really happy to use it. And I love that I have like the little yin-yang stickers and stuff. They're just so fun. So I said, Pogs. I was never really a video or board game kid, but one game that I was obsessed with throughout my childhood was Pogs. I have so many memories playing this after school and buying new styles every time I got the chance. I still have a lime green tube filled with my beloved Pog collection and all of my super cool slammers, prized possessions for sure. And that is true. They're at my parents' house, but I wanted to get a few out and like have them. I was thinking about whenever I was originally going to do this album, I was thinking about using a Life Crafted album, and I thought that they would look really cool in the 2x2 like little square pockets of the Life Crafted, but I ended up deciding on this album, which is everything's like outside the page protector, and I just printed off photos, but it was just another idea. So here was my 90s role model, Stephanie Tanner. I thought long and hard about who my 90s role model would be. There are just so many awesome characters and people to choose from. But if I had to pick, the sweet all-American girl, Stephanie Tanner, would be it. Full House was a daily staple in my TV viewing as a child, and Steph was always my favorite. And that's true. So I decided I couldn't find a great photo of her, so I decided to do like a book cover picture, which they have like a more crisp image, so I just went with that. And then the very last one is shopping spree. Can you imagine winning a shopping spree as a child, running through the aisles of Toys R Us, grabbing any and everything in sight? Wow, what a dream. Some of the things I would want to get my hands on would be all of the Spice Girl Barbies, a Talk Boy, lots of Sanrio stationery, and say it with me, a see-through phone. So that's it, guys. So in the back, I just covered obviously the same way. I have some washi, but what do you think? I hope that you enjoyed this, process of making all these pages and the flip through, of course. And of course, I've shared it to, many, many, many times on my Instagram, but I've just really enjoyed making it. And I've been so excited because a few people have said that they're going to make it, or they've started to make it, or they've adapted them into their styles with different years and stuff. And I just think it's so amazing. So if any of you have done that, or if you're thinking about doing it, I'm truly just thrilled whenever I see it. I showed my mom a few of them this morning, actually, and it just makes me really excited. So, yeah, I hope that this video was okay. It's been a long day, and I really wanted to get this video out, so if I stumbled over my words or anything, just bear with me. You know how it is, but I really wanted to get this video out for you guys today. So, I hope that you enjoyed this flip through, and I hope that you enjoyed this entire process of creating this childhood album. It was so fun for me. So if you did, please give me a like. Please also consider subscribing, and I will be back at you so soon with another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.